Everyone, to another episode of the Real Hosts of Short-Term Rentals. We are a mastermind group of hosts from around the world. Each week we talk about a different topic in the short-term rental industry. This week we are going to talk about local partnerships. So we'll go around the room and talk about what each of us do relating to partnerships that enhance guest experiences and types of partnerships that are beneficial to your business. So I'll start off. I run a company called Standout Stays in Sonoma, California, which is, for those people who don't know where Sonoma is, it is right next to Napa, about an hour and a half of San Francisco. Is very much, people come up for wine tasting, as there are a lot of wineries in the area. And many people drive up from the Bay Area to do that. So partnered with a company called Greetwell, and Greetwell is a software company that allows you to add in add-ons or concierge services or experiences, as we call them, so that people can add many different experiences into the cart and check out at one time. And let me just give you examples of some of the things that we've added into that cart. So every home has the ability to have an early check-in. Normal check-in is at 4 p.m. We will, depending on the cleaning, we will sometimes give a complimentary hour early check-in at 3 p.m. But if you, as a guest, want to arrive much earlier, as early as 11 a.m. that morning, and the house is ready for your arrival, then for $99, we allow people to upgrade and to arrive early. The same thing when they leave. We allow for a late checkout. Normal checkout is at 11 a.m. We'll give a complimentary hour to noon. But if you want to extend your stay till 2 p.m., another $99. If you want to extend your stay till 6 p.m., $199. And again, this is all dependent on if there's another booking that same day, because obviously if there is, then we can't do a late checkout. The same thing for an early check-in if there's a guest checking out that same day. And then the partnerships that we've established are things like yoga by the pool, chef that can come and cook a meal at the property, massage therapist who can come and do massages at the property, delivery service to have your fridge pre-stocked when you arrive, so you can have breakfast items sitting for you in the fridge, a charcuterie plate that you can have when you arrive. So there's all these additional services that we offer, and we have vetted vendors nearby who have given us a certain price, and we have an add-on to that price offering. We put everything into Greetwell, so they do all the processing for us, and we get notification anytime that there's a sale. So it differentiates us compared to other companies in the space. And that's the thing, is you really want to have differentiation when you are trying to market your properties. The only thing I would add to that is it's really important when you have that to be able to market it in the best way possible. And one of the things that we are implementing right now is we're taking pictures from those experiences and we're interspersing them in our actual Airbnb and VRBO listings and direct listings, so that when people are looking at a property, they that this is not just the property, it's also additional experiences that they can get. We do, and who would like to jump in next?
Question for you. I don't know how long you've been doing that, but has the response been very well received from the guests? Are they adding them on? Is it showing up in reviews?
As one can imagine, the most popular ones are the early or late checkouts. So those have been very popular. The properties that accept pets, to add a dog or two dogs, that also is a popular one. I had a couple of requests for chefs, not many. but there have been a few. But not many for the other services. We've had two birthday celebration packages, which is where we provide a birthday cake, flowers, a bottle of champagne, and candles. We've had a few of those as well. But I think it really is about marketing, and we're doing a much better job. But this is only recently that we've been adding these additional things to market these services. So another thing that we have done recently is in every one of the homes, we've put a little picture frame next to one side of the of each bed in the house, and that picture frame has QR codes. Those QR codes goes directly to the experiences page. One goes to the house manual, and the third one is for Wi-Fi access. So those sort of things, we believe that more people will be booking when they're at the house. And then the other thing is this differs, I guess, with each market. But my thinking for when people come up to do wine tasting in Sonoma is that they'll first book the house. Once the house is booked, then they will hone in on restaurants, on wineries, on what they're going to do during their weekend stay. And so we are starting to do is we're preempting that by giving them a phone call the next day after they book to for the booking and to introduce the experiences that we have. And that way, right from the beginning, from the planning stage, people can start to book these things and have them in mind as they're planning their trip. So, I mean, to answer your question, Kat, it's an iterative process. So, hoping by doing that, it'll expand the number of bookings.
I don't have any partnerships for guest experience, while I do think it's super important for differentiation now, especially that the market is a little bit more competitive and a lot slower. So that is something I would look at. But for me, I want to see like on the output, but my biggest concern is reliability of some of these smaller operators. I mean, it's maybe a little too early, but that would be one of my main concerns is if they can't complete the sale, does it reflect on you because you were like, I always take, when I do referrals or whatnot, it's a challenge for me to refer out another partner because I'm just either not confident, or if they do mess up, I'm out. So that's one of my major hesitations. But for me with partnerships, I don't do things for guest experience, but I do with like realtors. And those are, I don't have any financial agreements for referral fees with realtors. But where it does pay me is when they bring me an owner. So we don't do like an exchange of referral fees, but I meet with realtors every week. I'm out for coffee with someone, getting to know them, because I like to refer out to realtors based on like personality type. So I don't have an exclusive relationship with someone. It's like if I feel like this realtor is a good fit for this person or vice versa. So those are the partnerships that I focus on, because I have seen over the years great value on, I know what a customer means to me when I sign an owner. So, but yeah, with guest experiences, I don't have any experience with that.
Yeah, I mean, going back to your question about reliability, again, all of the vendors that we work with have been vetted. So we look at reviews on Yelp and other platforms. We've tried their services, so we know what they're like, and we haven't, knock on wood, we haven't had any issues with regards to guests not being happy with the services that they booked.
For me, I have not done it. I've thought a lot about it. I just honestly haven't had the time to sit down and focus on it. One of the other things that keeps rolling around in my mind is wanting to do actual kind of retreats and sell them. like wellness weekends or a wellness week or whatever. And then during that, like it could be a group of people who know each other or a group of people who don't necessarily know each other. And we're staying at one of the larger properties or several properties that are in close proximity. And then we have, the yoga instructor, the chef, and all this stuff coming together. But that's a lot more work. You don't automate that necessarily. So yeah, I've kind of been waiting between the two, or even, doing both. Yeah. So I'm here just more to hear what Laurence has done. Because I love it. I love for guests to have those options. And I think the marketing is going to be key for that. I think that's an excellent way to stand out in the crowd.
That's what our reasoning for doing it is.
Yeah, I'm kind of also on the same boat as Kat. I've thought about it and I've wanted to implement it. A lot of local partnerships with cafes or even fitness studios. When I first started back in 2018, my first property was in the San Jose area in an area called Santana Row. And that is a more like a higher end market. And they do have different studios, like fitness studios at the first floor, and smaller mom and pop like coffee shops. And I had one, I guess I have done a little implementation. The coffee shop on the first floor, they gave our guests a discount of 10% for whenever they came in. And that was my first partnership, but similar to Deana, the partnerships currently that I value are like the real estate agents that I get connected with in the local markets that I have. And then even the cleaners, sometimes I've gotten some cleaners recommending some of the owners that they've cleaned for to me. So my last onboarding in Oakland was a 3-bedroom loft in downtown Oakland. That was a recommendation from one of my cleaners, or a referral, excuse me. And I really do see a lot of value in the concierge service, but I just haven't had time to really look into it. So Laurence, I really commend you for adding that. That's good value also to the guests.
What you said about are other types of local partnerships relating to referrals. And ones that we've thought about, we haven't yet implemented this, was go to cleaning services. Because with a pool cleaning service, they may know of homeowners that have pools. This is not to get guests, this is to get new clients. And they could potentially introduce us to an owner who, has a vacation home, for example, where they go to maybe once or twice a month, and where they don't do short-term rentals at the moment, but they may be interested in that because it will help pay for the mortgage. So those sort of partnerships, and Deana's one with the Realtors, are another type of local partnership that can help you.
Yeah, you're so right about the pool companies. There's a list, there's a ton of vendors out there that have the lists or the database or the Rolodex of the homeowners that you're after. And by connecting with those people and even planting the seed, letting them know, hey, if you ever know anyone that's got a property manager and maybe you're looking at the property and you're like, wow, doesn't look as good as some of the others or the ones that we work together on. If you drop my name, I'll kick you back, whatever.
Yeah.
So obviously it's a slow burn, but those long-term relationships are super fruitful.
Yeah. And to add on to that, I think contractors are a really good network as well to reach out to if you've already worked with one. You could just tell them hey, I do have a referral program. Now I want to use this for myself now that I'm saying it out loud. And anyone that is kind of inside of the property or works on the property, like landscapers and all of that, I think that's really cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, contractors would be a good one because if he purchases a property and then need to do renovations before they get into looking for a property manager, the contractor would have an early access to that information.
Yeah.
And then just to speak to Kat, the retreats. So I don't know if anyone's heard of Matt Landau, but he runs the vacation rental management blog. Big, he's a great creator and he does Keystone retreats getting STR managers together, but now he's moving away from like the STR space, and he started a company called Here Goes Nothing, where he's creating like different kinds of entrepreneurs, but for any niche, right? Health, whatever. I think that's where the travel industry is going, right? Like we're now spending money to go stay in maybe off the beaten path little places for an experience. I think with events as well, people like us might join randos for an event, and I think there might be a great opportunity for partnerships and event planning. But you're right, it's a totally different industry. You're now planning events, not just accommodations. But the numbers are crazy what people are willing to spend, $4,000-$6,000, and they get themselves there. It doesn't include airfare. That's like when you're on the ground, and there's probably some big profit to be made. And maybe with partnerships you can hand off, if you partner with each vendor, you can hand off the responsibility of that and just be the person to get the people there,
the coordinator, wherever. And that's kind of like an experience, but it's like an immersive experience. Like you're creating, they don't have to plan anything, you're creating everything for them.
And then like one,
we have a property very, very close to, actually they have a vineyard on the property, and the owners don't make the wine. They sell the grapes. This is quite common, I think. Sell the grapes to a winery, and the winery then makes the wine. One of the thoughts was like at the moment we provide a bottle of wine for each one of our guests when they arrive. I mean, not each guest, but each party that comes. So we've been thinking about partnering with this winery for this particular property, and basically to say that this wine comes from the grapes made from the vineyard on the property, and then to do a quid pro quo with that winery, where at the winery they would have a flyer or brochure or something on the home that people could book. So if you've just come up for the day to do wine tasting at this winery, you'd be able to take a look and say, ooh, wouldn't it be nice next time to actually stay up here? And this looks like an amazing home to stay at.
Yeah. Laurence, have you heard of Cashpad?
I
The
have
show
not.
on MSNBC. They have a episode where, so Cashpad is these two, it was a couple from The Bachelorette, and MSNBC gave them a show to start like Airbnb management / renovation. And their second episode is a winery in Austin. I think they offered that, and they have like a full system that they show to the viewers. So I think that would be a good thing for some inspiration for you. Yeah,
I'll check it out. Thanks for that. Anything else on local partnerships? There were a few insights from this. Again, if you guys watching are interested in establishing an experiences offering for your rentals, out Greetwell, as they seem to be the preeminent software company in the industry for specifically for short-term rental experiences. And we hope that you got some insight from this episode. In terms of next week, I'm doing episodes every Tuesday, a new format that we're using. So we hope you enjoy this new format. But we'll come up with a new episode, new topic for next week's episode, and we look forward to seeing you then. If you got some insight from this episode and you know other hosts who would benefit, please refer them at therealhosts.com. They can join the Facebook group, and they can access all of our past episodes as well. Thanks again for joining, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye-bye for now.